Let's get reading. Let me share my screen. All right, our first word that I would love for you to read today. And you, as I often say, you might know how to read this word by sight without sounding it out. Lots of these words. You might just recognize them because you're adults and you see them in the real world so often. But you might not know why they're spelled the way they are. So this is what we're doing. I'm teaching you why that word says what it does so that you can apply those same reading rules to all the other words that you're going to see in the real world. All right, so we're starting with this one. Okay, here's what's going on with this word. We have a schwa at the beginning. A can make the schwa sound when it's at or toward the beginning of a word and there is a vowel 2 doors down. I'll say that again. A will make the schwa sound, this upside down E represents the schwa sound, when it's at or toward the beginning of a word, and, that's a very important and, there is another vowel 2 doors down. Not 1 or 2, but 2. This C is going to be making its soft sound, S, because there is an E, I, or Y after it. This E is going to be making its long sound, E, because there's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. This TI says shh, because that's what TI says when it's toward the end of a multi-syllable word and there's a vowel after it. OUS is a common a common suffix that says us. You don't hear the O, you do hear the short U. This and this we just went over in my spelling class, so that'll be a nice repetition for you. I'm going to fix this a little bit. All right, so take your time, pencil read this word, and then I'll come and read it after you. The accent is right here. You're going to say that second syllable more strong. Okay, so we have f, s, e, sh, s. Pencil reading that word. Facetious. Facetious. Did you hear how I emphasized that second syllable? Here's how the syllable, I don't want to break up the syllables because it's just more lines to mess things up here or to make things look slightly more confusing, but if that helps, that's how those 3 syllables are broken up. And the second syllable is accented. Facetious. Facetious. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Were you able to read facetious without me? Yes or almost? Y or A? Oh, Mohammed, let me answer your question here. Should I keep going with website course or the YouTube course? I already are at Learn Reading 42 lesson. I recommend both. I recommend you doing both. The YouTube lessons, those are, yeah, I recommend both if you can. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, so were you able to read facetious? Yes or almost? About half and half. Somebody's not at all. Can I explain it again? You bet I can. So this A is going to say the schwa sound, because it's toward the beginning and there's a vowel 2 doors down. This C is going to say S, because there's an E, I, or Y after it. And these are all lessons that we've learned all year. We spent a whole, not that you were here for that, I'm just explaining why I'm going fast. And we're going to spend a whole 30 minutes on just this rule in January again, because we loop back around every year and we do all the lessons again. So this lesson right here, while A says gets a whole 30-minute lesson. This rule right here that C can say sometimes gets a whole 30-minute lesson. All of these do. This TI does. This OUS does. But now that we're toward the end of the year, we're doing a little bit of a review. So if you're just dropping in new, you're learning these things for the first time, but you're learning them in a rapid succession. So be a little bit graceful with yourself if you're not picking it up super quick. Just to follow along, listen, and when you come to those dedicated lessons in January, February, March, April, then it's all going to ring a bell and you'll go, oh yeah, I know that. It's going to sound familiar. TI says shh when it's toward the end of a multisyllable word and there's a vowel after it. OUS says us. Facetious. Facetious. Facetious means kind of flippant. Somebody's being facetious. They're not really being very serious. So here is facetious. Next word. These are all kind of tongue twisters, but we're gonna force our tongue, our mouth shape, to form each sound, so it will take that difficulty away for the most part. Okay, this is a little bit of a rule breaker. This E does not say E, it says eh. It's going to make it short sound. AU says aw. It's kind of like a short O sound, like an olive, but it's even deeper. Your jaw drops even more. Aw. It's a deep, deep aw sound. And then this U does follow the tap 2 rule. It says because there's not a vowel there or there. And then TH is a voiceless or voiced sound. It can make either one. In this word, it's going to sound like it's voiceless sound, so no vocal cords are used, only air. Your tongue goes between your teeth and you blow. Okay, so knowing that this E is a rule breaker and it says try to read this word. Mohammed, I'll answer your question. Be happy to. All right, let's try this word together. So we have s, a, s. Thes, thesar, thesar, thesara, thesaurus, thesaurus. A thesaurus is a book that gives you a lot of synonyms for words. It tells you what, if you give it a word, it'll tell you all of the other words that mean the same thing. It's so handy. I use them every week. A thesaurus. To answer your question, Mohammed, about facetious, why does this A say down here? It's making the schwa sound because it's toward the beginning of a word and there's another vowel 2 doors down. Next word. Try reading this first word again. What is this one down here? Facetious. And then this word? Thesaurus. Thesaurus. Facetious. Thesaurus. Next. Here we go. Okay. All right. What do we have here? What's going on? We have an OB that is a Greek root that sounds like ub. It sounds like ub. Same with om and or com and con. Not really. Is it a Greek root? Latin root. It's a Latin root. These vowels all make the schwa sound and say Okay? So this first part says This this E is changing to the long E sound and saying E because there is a vowel in the next one or two spots. QU says qua. I, when it's toward the end of a multi-syllable word and there's a vowel after it, it says E most of the time. So when I comes toward the end of a multi-syllable word, a longer word, and there's a vowel after it, it will often say E. And then here's that suffix us again. We don't hear the O, we do hear the U. So take a minute. I wonder where it just went. There it is. Tricky little thing. Okay, take a minute and try to read this word. I'm giving QU a single dot, even though it's technically 2 microsounds. Catherine, why is the E saying it's short sound in thesaurus? It's just a rule breaker. I don't know, Beverly. A lot of times when you hear us at the end of words, it's going to be spelled O-U-S, like in this word. All right, so we have our Latin root, ub, s, e, qua, e, s, ub, ubs, ubsi, obsequa, obsequi, obsequia, obsequious. This is accented right here. Obsequious. How'd you do? Yes or almost? Y or A? Obsequious. How'd you do on that one? About half and half. Obsequious. Can you say it now that you have heard it? Now that you've heard the correct pronunciation, look at the spelling and read it while you're looking at each sound so that it sinks into your nerve pathways, your brain. Obsequious. Obsequious means servile, like you're deferring to somebody else. All right, try to read this first word here. Facetious. And this one. Thesaurus. And this one. Obsequious. Obsequious. All right. Next. What's next? Okay. All right. What do we have here? So this A is going to follow the tap 2 rule. Say ah because the next 2 letters are consonants. Here we have that I again that's toward the end of a multi-syllable word with a vowel after it. So what's it going to say? E. Toward the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it, that I will say E. This O is going to follow the tap 2 rule and say its name because there's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. E at the end is typically silent. Go ahead and try to read this word. So we have g, r, a, n, d, e, o, s. Grandiose. Grandiose. How is that one? Y or A for grandiose? Nice, Catherine. Good, Taryn. Nice, Bev. Nice, Sarah. Nice, Daryl. Good, Joseph. A's are great too. Almost or progress. Progress is the end. That's okay. I love that you knew where your error was. That is brilliant. If you can find when you were reading exactly what spot you messed up on, that is so beautiful. That is such amazing progress because then you can just focus on that spot when you read it again. I call that the give a goal rule in the Learn Reading program. When you're teaching somebody else and they make an error, you tell them what the error was, not what the word was, so they can focus on that spot. So the fact that you did that yourself is beautiful. Grandiose means huge, large. Last one. Actually, go ahead and read this first word again. Here we have facetious, thesaurus, obsequious, grandiose. You're doing amazing. Next. Last one. We have a long U because of the tap 2 rule. We have a short I because of the confident rule. I in the middle syllable gets to say I, regardless of if there are 2 consonants after it or not. Same with this I, same rule. Plus, ity is a suffix that says itty. Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. So, my goodness, my little tablet has a little mind of its own here. Naughty little thing. Let me see if I can lock it. Okay, so our sounds are U. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you do that. You take it from here. Do you remember what QU says? It's a KW sound. All right. So we have this long U. Let me make that a better macron. This is called a macron. This is called a breve for the long sound and the short sound. So we have U, B, I, Q, I, T, E. Ub, ubi, ubiqu, ubiqui, ubiquit, ubiquity. This is accented right here, third syllable from the end. Ubiquity, ubiquity. How did you do on ubiquity without me? Yay? I mean, Y for yes and or A for almost. Ubiquity. Nice. Ubiquity means pervasiveness. Interesting. I didn't know that. Ubiquity. All right. Go ahead and read all of your words here. I'm going to pull them up to the middle. All together. What do we have there? Read them all together. We have facetious, thesaurus, obsequious, grandiose, ubiquity. Did you get some learning done today? Do you feel like it was time well spent? I hope so. And don't forget, perfection is not required for progress. Just being here. Just getting it into your brain is progress, and you are my heroes for making the time to do that. Have a wonderful weekend, my friend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.